Welcome in a man who spent 9 years writing for ESPN and is now a college basketball writer for The Athletic. His name is Brian Bennett. He joins us on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Brian, great to have you with us, and welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, Brian, what most people don't know is that you have a backdrop that features Mark Pope. You were both undergrads at the University of Kentucky. So take us back to your Kentucky days. What was your first impression of Mark Pope when he was playing for the Wildcats?
Well, he was kind of known as the really clean-cut guy on the team. I remember that Rick Pitino telling stories about, he was the only one on the team who didn't curse, and Pitino was a noted cursor, so there was some funny butting head stories on that. But then you started to learn more about what a great student he was, and when I was writing the student paper, I did a feature story on him, just kind of how he balanced academics and basketball, and spent a day around him. Following around, just a really focused, outstanding guy who just had all his priorities in order, and was always really, really friendly, even to the media. So he was a favorite around here for sure.
After his career, he pursues medicine, but then he drops out to coach. Did you get a sense that this dude was going to do something great, whether it be as a doctor or a coach at some point that early?
Yeah, I knew he was going to be a high achiever. I wasn't sure he was going to be a coach just because, as you said, he had so many options. I think he was planning to be a Rhodes Scholar when he was at Kentucky, and clearly he could have been successful in just about any field. But it's interesting. A lot of those guys who played for Pitino in the '90s are coaches now, and there's something about that time I think that has inspired a lot of people to get in the coaching profession. And what he's done in a short period of time as a head coach is really impressive.
Brian Bennett, college basketball writer for The Athletic, with us on BYU Sports Nation. And now one of those Pitino guys, Mark Pope, is at BYU. And coming off of a season where he had the Cougars pacing for potentially something special. Now you have BYU number 10 in your mid-major power rankings as we take an early look at next season. Why are you still high on the Cougars in spite of them losing so much production?
Yeah, they do lose a ton of production, obviously, with Yoeli Childs and TJ Hawes and Jake Toolson all gone. I do think that, getting Matt Harms from Purdue was quite a coup. Texas Tech and Kentucky were both in hot pursuit of him, as well as a lot of other schools, but those were his finalists. And I don't think he's going to come in and be a superstar, but he's 7'3", great rim protector, can shoot from the outside. I think that's a really good place to start. I think he'll be, a dominant type of center in the WCC. And I think there's some other players who'll step forward, and I'm still kind of counting on them landing at least one grad transfer at guard. If that doesn't happen, then maybe I would bump them out of the top 10, especially if some other teams maybe do make some additions. Let's remember it is early June, and there will be a lot of changeover and roster moves and everything. But I'm kind of believing in the system and the culture, and the fact that I think that they've got a pretty good base of talent to work with.
Isn't it interesting? Because a lot of people say, it takes time to build a program. I would submit that perhaps it does not in the long run. But Mark Pope comes in from UVU. They never made the NCAA tournament, but they were building. And then in 1 year, he has this excellent group. He's able to get them to coalesce. He's able to get a few pieces back. And bang, BYU's in the top 20, right? I don't think we expect that this year. But what do you expect this next year as BYU tries to continue the momentum?
Yeah, I'm not sure if there'll be a top 25 type team. Certainly last year, it was pretty spectacular. I believe they finished 13th in KenPom. I really thought that was a team that had a shot of maybe even crashing the Final Four, if they got the right kind of draw. They had some great shooting. But obviously he comes into a great situation where you've got Yoeli Childs, and granted he missed the first third of the season, but spectacular player, and he gets Jake Toolson to come follow him. So this is going to be, certainly a different kind of year for him. There's a little bit of rebuilding, but I think he established a lot in that first year. I like the way they play, their style of play on offense. I think is a successful one, and I think they're set up for to do some good things. And you've seen, even with the guys who haven't decided to come, like Mac McClung, BYU's been included in our list, and I feel like the profile of the program has been raised.
Brian Bennett with us on BYU Sports Nation, college basketball writer for The Athletic. From a national standpoint and perception, what does landing Matt Harms do for BYU basketball and Mark Pope?
Yeah, I think because of who they were competing against, and you're talking about, his finalists were Kentucky and Texas Tech, a team that just played in the national title game in the last NCAA tournament, and great coach in Chris Beard. For them to get harms over those two programs, you just don't see that a lot, where a guy will choose, a team that's in a mid-major conference over two power league schools like that. So that I think that surprised a lot of people, and I think it turned heads a little bit. It's a good fit, I think, for Matt Harms and what he wants to do, especially offensively in that system. And I think it's a pretty big deal. We'll see how he plays this year. Like I said, I don't think he's a superstar, but he is a really solid player.
Yeah, hard not to wonder what the perception of BYU basketball would be if the Cougars were able to land another high-profile recruit that ended up at Texas Tech.
Yeah, and BYU's still going after that. We anticipate, and talked to Cody Feger, one of the assistant coaches yesterday. They're still going after 1 to 2 transfers. And I want to get your comment on that. The game is certainly different in 2020 with the amount of transfers. Mark Pope himself was a transfer to Kentucky, right? Chris Burgess from Duke to Utah on the staff as well. That's just a huge part of the game, and Mark Pope has shown that he can get a lot of these guys, and they have an impact, and that's across college basketball, Brian.
Yeah, it's part of what you have to do now as a coach. You have to work basically the waiver wire, and there are some coaches who are really, really good at that. It's not just recruiting anymore, and the fact that you can get a transfer sometimes who's a junior or a senior, that automatically adds some experience, some maturity to your team. And obviously, that's something BYU's excelled at with some older players, and to get those older players who've already been in the system, kind of already know the ins and outs of college basketball is pretty big. And it's amazing that it just never seems to stop. I mean, we keep getting new guys in the portal. The kid from Florida just last week that kind of opened everybody's eyes, Matt McClung, we mentioned just a couple of weeks ago. So, I mean, who knows? People could be transferring all the way into the summer, and it's obviously a very weird off season, and who knows what the NCAA is going to do with the waivers. But I kind of feel for these coaches because it's got to be really hard to put a roster together and keep it together.
Are you in favor of the idea with the waiver of just a one-time you can transfer and without penalty play right away?
I am. I know a lot of coaches hate it, especially at the mid-major level. They feel like their players will come in and have one good year and then go to a power league. But I do think it works in the opposite direction as well. Some guys transferring down. But I think ultimately it's just hard to make the argument about why a student couldn't do that. Every other student on campus can do that. Pretty much every other athlete other than men's basketball and football can do it. Coaches can leave. ADs can leave. I just don't understand what the rationale is for saying a student has to leave. A men's basketball player has to sit out a year. And granted, I'd like to see more guys stick it out a little bit and battle adversity. I think that's a good learning experience. But it kind of is what it is at this point. And there's no reason to penalize them, especially when you've already got a lot of restrictions on their earning potential.
Speaking of waiver wires and coaches being able to leave, BYU fans, because of the success of Mark Pope, are already worried about him potentially leaving. Like, if he continues to coach at this level, how are we going to keep him in Provo? What do you think is the key to keeping a guy like Mark Pope in Provo when Power 5 programs are surely to come calling for such a hot prospect?
Well, obviously, you've got to be competitive with salary. You've got to be competitive with facilities, and hopefully be competitive in the West Coast Conference, and that continues to, it got stronger, I thought, in the last 2 years than it had been. It's not just a one-bid league anymore. Probably would have had 3 this year. The other thing is, I think you've got to look at fit, right? I mean, Mark Pope's a great fit at BYU, for a lot of obvious reasons. And obviously, I think he's very, very comfortable there. His family is comfortable there. If a Kentucky or a Kansas or somebody like that comes calling, of course, you've got to look at it. But you also got to think about your own happiness and where you fit best. And I don't think there's a better program in all America that's better fit for Mark Pope. So you never know. Coaches leave all the time. But I think when you look in terms of coach and fit, Mark Pope seems to be a guy who could stick around for a while.
I hope he's here forever and retires here. That's not going to be the case. It just no one stays that long anymore. You know what I mean? I think at the very end, at some point, he really wants Kentucky. I just feel it that he would want that opportunity down the line. It's early in his coaching career, but I think that'd be an amazing fit at some point in the future. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's quite possible, and who knows when that's going to come open. John Calipari's in his early 60s, so he does have a 10-year contract. I believe he's in the second year of that, maybe. But who knows when that'll come
contracts can be broken, Brian.
Yeah, exactly. Depends on how long he's going to stay, and who knows if that comes open. If someplace on the West Coast, Washington, where he's from, if that were to come open, or in Arizona or something like that. And even the NBA, I think he spent some time in the pros. I think he understands the pro game. That might be something that appeals to him. So you can never say for sure, and you probably don't want to stick around too long sometimes because things can get a little stale, and people do get tired of recruiting. But like I said, I doubt there's a better fit out there for him right now. But it's just a matter of what's in his heart when some of those opportunities come along.
May I be so brash to speak for all BYU fans when I say here's to a long, storied career in Provo for Mark Pope.
It's a nice idea. It's 2020.
Brian, it's great to talk with you. We appreciate what you're putting out there about BYU basketball. And for those that are wondering how they can read more of your content, how do they find that?
Sure. Go to theathletic.com and the college basketball section. I cover a lot of the mid-majors as well as national college basketball and recruiting and all kinds of different stuff. And I'm on Twitter at @GBrianBennett.
Brian, thanks for the time. Great to talk with you.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Brian Bennett on